are 3 things I never thought I'd see in this world. Flying razor scooters, Oreo O's 2, and a remake of one of my favorite games of all time, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. The Mad Men actually did it! This teaser trailer came out over a year ago on June 5th, 2019, and ever since then, I've just refreshed Google 100 times every day until more was announced. As time goes on, more and more trailers release, and oh man, I'm 12 years old all over again. We get glimpses of the gameplay and graphics, all of which look super beautiful. I already thought the original GameCube game looked nice, but when you see a side-by-side comparison, just wow. And after years and years, alright, just 1 year actually, the game is finally in my grasp. Now, I'm not too sure how I'm gonna approach this video. I've already talked about Battle for Bikini Bottom a little bit in my SpongeBob games video, so I decided I'm just gonna do whatever. Talk about the upgrades, what they changed, comparing it to the original, and whatever fanboy moments come along. The first thing we see when loading up the game is the title screen. Now, I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but let's do exactly that anyway. I love this art style. It genuinely looks like a movie poster. But more importantly, do they got the theme song? Aye, aye, Captain! Oh, I can't play the rest of it because we'll get hit with a copyright strike. I'm pretty sure the original game just used an instrumental version of the theme, which totally killed my 12-year-old vibe. SpongeBob's also pretty excited for it, I think. In case this is your first venture into Battle for Bikini Bottom, the story follows Plankton trying to steal the Krabby Patty formula. I can't do a Plankton. He creates a robot army, but accidentally switches it to don't obey. Maybe you shouldn't have programmed that. Thus having robots wreak havoc upon Bikini Bottom, and it's up to our favorite undersea sponge to save the day. The animation still definitely looks like a GameCube game. I wasn't expecting a full-on remake with modern graphics built from the ground up, but I don't know. It's still really charming though. The characters have more detail in their face now, meaning the reactions are more eccentric and fun.
I have devised an ingenious plan to finally steal the Krabby Patty formula.
The first area of the game has you exploring SpongeBob's house, and oh my god, immediately, I was hit with a metric heck ton of nostalgia, for many reasons. Being able to explore SpongeBob's house in a fully interactable manner is something I could have only dreamed of as a kid, and doing it again 17 years later just makes me one happy goofy goober. Now here's the thing, I bought this game on my Switch so I could play it with a GameCube controller like I did back in the day. I wanted to have the most genuine nostalgic recreation as I could. This was a mistake in many ways. For one, the controls are different. On the GameCube, the A button jumps and the B button attacks. It feels natural on your fingers. On the Switch though, the A button jumps and Y attacks. It's not too weird or uncomfortable, it just sucks that you can't remap the buttons to the original layouts. Or remap them at all. But whatever, we finally step outside and look at these colors! I really love the art direction they went with here. It's like an explosion of colors, like if you gave life to Skittles. Everything really stands out. SpongeBob, his pineapple, Squidward's tiki. It's a really nice enhancement. And hey, it's Mr. Krabs!
SpongeBob! This flapping robot crisis is making the Krusty Krab lose money like a sinking ship.
Oh yeah, it's Mr. Krabs. I forgot all about this. Clancy Brown, the actual voice actor for Mr. Krabs, wasn't available for recording lines for the original game, so they instead got whoever this guy is, who is doing, I'm sure, his best.
I've got a few golden spatulas that I'll be willing to trade to you for some of those shiny objects.
Ahoy, SpongeBob! It's like if I did lines for this. Uncle Al, full-time funny guy on YouTube, does hilariously spot-on impressions of SpongeBob characters.
Hey, Squidward.
What do you want, Patrick?
I was hoping to get myself some canned coochie.
He even tweeted out to THQ Nordic saying he would gladly redo the lines free of charge, and gosh, I wish they took him up on that.
What's wrong, Mr. Krabs? You don't look so good.
You gotta help me, boy. The Krusty Krab's been overrun by a bunch of them hoodlum robots of yours.
You gotta help me, boy. The Krusty Krab's been overrun by a bunch of them hoodlum robots of yours.
Anyway, let's head to Jellyfish Fields. As a kid, I played this world probably 1,000 times. I know it better than Bob on Battlefield. And, ooh, That's not pretty. This game does not run too well on the Switch. You'll notice that during the preview portion of the level that so many environmental effects need to load. I was going to be upset, but while SpongeBob was talking to Squidward, he did the face! The thing! You know, the meme. So all is forgiven. Oh man, it's all coming back to me. While playing through my favorite intro stage in video game history, I was having mixed feelings. Again, this is because I'm on the Switch, but the frame rate on this thing can be pretty choppy. The controls aren't mapped in a super comfortable way, even though I'm using the GameCube. These wounds are all self-inflicted. And even though I'm only 20 minutes into the game, I did experience a handful of glitches. For example, during the bungee jump portion, you go down and collect the spatula and come right back up. After I did that though, SpongeBob kinda glitched out and was off-center and constantly tilted, clipping through the floor. He didn't control any differently, but it was still really distracting. I couldn't even fix this until Patrick came in and became playable. That being said though, the game is still really fun. Picking it up and playing after a decade plus of not playing it, it was like riding a bike. You never truly forget. It was so smooth. I was hopping around, spanking these robots like it was nothing. It all just came back to me and I was having so much fun. The game also does improve on a lot of things. For example, there's areas of the game that require Patrick to throw watermelons. In the GameCube, this was a pain in the bubble butt because there was no way of being accurate. You just point Patrick in the general direction and hope for the best. Here though, they added in these little markers that'll show you where the watermelon will land. This is so helpful and makes the game less unnecessarily frustrating. And Sandy swinging around on her rodeo rope is fun. I mean, it's no Spider-Man on PS4, but it's still really satisfying. And that's something you gotta remember. The game still feels like a GameCube-era game. It's fairly simple and not too deep, but that doesn't mean it's not fun. Of course not! They even made the combat feel great. Now, when you attack a robot, the screen shakes a little bit, making every hit feel impactful and super satisfying.
Oh, yeah, it's that sponge kid.
Ugh, that's not satisfying. I'm honestly kinda mixed on how I feel about this game. Sure, a lot of it can come down to the fact that I got it on the Switch, and if I bought the game on literally any other platform, these problems wouldn't be here. But I didn't, so I'm giving it a review from the standpoint of the Switch. The Switch port isn't ideal. If you can, I definitely recommend getting it on the PS4, Xbox, PC, microwave, anything else! However, what if the Switch is your only option? Should you still get it? Yeah, 100%! I did have my nitpicks with the game, but that's only because I'm such a huge fan, and will notice the stupid tiny little things. The gameplay, atmosphere, and charm Battle for Bikini Bottom has transcends any small technical hiccups the Switch will give. I was glued to my TV, still having that childlike joy I had way back when I first played the original game. The core game is just as good as I remember. No nostalgia goggles here, just plain facts. The gameplay is solid, the visuals are charming, the dialogue warms any SpongeBob fan's heart. Oh, and the multiplayer! How could I forget? This is a totally new feature created for the REHYDRATED edition. You and a friend pick a character and need to fight off robots. You platform from island to island, fighting off waves of enemies, collecting items, and ending it with a boss fight. I like this. It's very arcadey, and if you have a younger sibling that really wants to play with you, then this multiplayer mode definitely does its job, just beating up robots with your friend or family. It's nice and wholesome. Overall, yeah, I absolutely recommend this game. If you cannot get it on the Switch, then get it literally anywhere else. It's fun, solid, and still holds up to the games of today. Also, Nickelodeon posted a picture of SpongeBob on Pride Month, which got people talking, so let's assess this. If you go inside SpongeBob's room, we'll find that he has a picture of Sandy just hanging up. Well, you naughty sponge. But also, there's this!
Oh, yeah. Oh, that feels so much better.
Anything for my best friend Squidward. Can I rub some on?
Alright, yep, definitely confirmed.